If you love cake and you love ice cream, this is gonna blow your mind.
This frozen sweet treat is so simple. We make a Swiss roll sponge using flour, sugar and egg, and then we roll it all up with peanut butter ice cream in the middle and freeze it.
Right.
Okay, so it's like an Arctic roll but with our twist. Now to start with, you need to do the Swiss roll, which is sugar and egg. So if you can put those into the bowl.
Yes.
So the thing about Swiss roll sponge is there is no fat in it, there's no butter or oil, it's just egg, sugar and flour. Okay. You need to whip it up until it's about 3 times the volume. I suggest you use that because it takes a while. If you can whisk that up light and fluffy, that's what we want. And while Barry whisks those, I can start with some of our filling, which is our chocolate-covered peanuts. You don't want crumbs as such, you're not going to put it in a food processor, but we just do want to begin to crunch them up. Just one job out of the way. There we go. And we need to carefully fold in our flour, okay? So this bit is a matter of adding the flour and then just carefully folding it until you've just combined it, because you don't want to knock all that air out which we had in there a moment ago.
Big figure of 8.
Big figure of 8, folding it in on itself. So there we go, all of our flour combined, and at that point we can put the whole thing into our tin. Worth noting at this point, it is a Swiss roll tin. It's got a special size, and slightly deeper but very flat, and we can put all of that mixture in there. Now very, very carefully, kind of let it just gently find the edges. You don't want to push it too hard because you don't want to knock out too much air. We do just want to ease it to the edges.
And does the air make it easier to roll later on?
It makes it like a fluffy sponge, and yes, enables us to roll it up. And then Baz, if you put that into our oven, it needs 200 degrees Celsius for 10 minutes. So it'll be nice and golden, slightly risen, and then we need to roll it immediately, but we'll show you that in just a moment. Now, just before we take our sponge out of the oven, we need to get a clean tea towel and slightly damp, so just run it under a tap, so wring it out, so slightly damp tea towel, a piece of baking paper, and then a sprinkling of caster sugar. And this is what we need to help roll it up in a minute, okay? But now you can get it out of the oven, and you can see a nice golden colour on top, nicely risen. Just pop it down there for a moment. You can see how light and spongy that is, and all we need to do is, and it will be hot, so be careful, lift the whole thing up and upside down onto that sugar. Then while it's still warm, you need to peel this off, which is why you use baking paper, so it's really easy to do. Present for you.
Thank you.
And then roll it up. Okay, so nice tight roll with the greaseproof paper caught in the middle while it's still warm.
Oh, to shape it, hold it.
And that shapes it into the roll we need later on. So that gets rolled up, then in the tea towel.
And why is the tea towel damp?
The tea towel's damp so it doesn't dry out. Remember, there's no fat in this, so it's quite a dry sponge. So you want to keep all that moisture, you don't want it to steam. So that just keeps all the steam and the moisture in there as it cools down. And that is our sponge. We need to let that cool down and come back to that later. Fortunately for you, Barry, here's one I have that I did earlier.
Wow! It's like a big sweet.
And now we need to do our filling.
Yes.
Which is vanilla ice cream, just any cheap stuff will do, and then peanut butter. Okay, so it's cheap vanilla ice cream, but we're going to add loads more flavour with our crunchy peanut butter. So if you can just mash that up, it's kind of already softened and been at room temperature for a while. But with our cold sponge, we can unroll this now, like so. Look at that. So now it kind of remembers the way it's been rolled up. And all I need you to do is slot that on there and spread it out nice and even. Palette knife often good for this. Right to the edges, and you can see all the crunchy nuts in there, which is awesome. We're going to add more crunch in the form of those chocolate-coloured peanuts we cut up earlier. Scatter loads of those on there, and that gives you your chocolate edge, more crunch. Just make sure we get it into all these corners so you get a completely smooth roll.
It's always the best bit licking the spoon.
And then, watch this, this is the important bit, watch this.
Oh, sorry.
Roll it, nice and tight. Round you go. You can use that paper to help if you need to.
Alright.
And what you end up with is a Arctic roll, Swiss roll. At that point, roll it up again, and now it needs to go into our freezer. At that point, the dessert is essentially done. It needs to freeze for a couple of hours, so it's completely solid, and then you can slice it and serve it.
Cool.
Now that it's frozen, a couple of slices off of that.
Isn't it nuts?
See the chocolate peanuts in the middle, the nice swirl. We'll serve the whole thing together so everyone can take their own slice. Our version of Arctic roll with a peanut butter twist, sorted.
Right. It does taste like a very well-known chocolate bar. I think I prefer it to the jam versions. And it's healthy.
If you thought this was good, then make sure you check out our website where there's loads of other sweet and savoury recipes every day.